Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku. Back with another video to talk about some breaking news that has just come out. It's kind of hilarious now since we talked about this, or we kind of hinted at this yesterday, and I was right. Um, my theory on who was going to replace Roman Reigns, and it will be Braun Strowman, the monster among men. Uh, will be replacing Roman Reigns in this match. The SmackDown taping is coming out tonight, so they'll probably figure him in and write Roman Reigns out in some capacity. As I alluded to yesterday, if this actually happened, it would not be something that I was in favor of. I like Braun Strowman. You guys know I have made multiple videos about him being the Universal or WWE Heavyweight Champion. But I don't think this was the way to put the belt on him. Like, there's no fans. It will always be looked at once again as, he replaced Roman Reigns in the match, and that will minimize it again too. Again, no fans, which again, a bunch of reports are coming out that people are getting injured, people are sick, or people are quarantined. The Miz reportedly is the reason why Roman Reigns dropped out of this match, because he was sick at the Performance Center, and because of that, Roman Reigns didn't like that because of the health. He had the leukemia history, and so that's why he pulled out. So there's definitely going to be heat on the Miz if this is true, if that report is true. But I don't know. I mean, supposedly the recording tapes are until the 9th. They've recorded all the way to the 9th. There is a order in Orlando as of up to that date for SmackDown and Raw, and then WrestleMania, obviously. So they've taped the Raw after WrestleMania. They taped WrestleMania, sadly, instead of postponing it. And they taped next week's Raw and SmackDown, and they taped this week's SmackDown. This week's Raw was live still. But they taped SmackDown. I think they taped SmackDown earlier, though, because obviously they would have had to have taped SmackDown before they taped WrestleMania, because I'm assuming they taped everything in chronological order. Otherwise, the wrestlers might screw stuff up when they're taping stuff. So, I'm assuming SmackDown was taped around the same time NXT was taped for Wednesday's airing. As well as 205 Live. I'm assuming those were all taped around the same time. So there would be consistencies with the wrestlers. And then they went to WrestleMania on Wednesday, which will air this Saturday and Sunday, respectfully, because it's a two-night one. Honestly, I don't even know why they're doing 2 days. I mean, if it was live, if WrestleMania was live, I could get why they were doing 2 days. But why do they need to do 2 days why would you need to do 2 days of WrestleMania if it's taped? Like, it's literally taped. So why not just schedule the whole match the whole card on one night? It doesn't make sense to me. If it was live, it's one thing. Under the circumstances, but it's not. It's taped. So, I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, the reports are it's Braun Strowman. Like I said, they tried. Well, no, because they taped SmackDown this week, which is going to air tonight. Then they had to tape next week's Raw, and they had to tape next week's SmackDown before they could do WrestleMania. And I'm really wondering what they did exactly for WrestleMania. Like, they set up the Performance Center any different? Because if they just set up the Performance Center like they've been doing with SmackDown and Raw, that is going to just look so dumb. They gotta at least do something. to make WrestleMania look good, because then it's just going to be enough. Yeah, WrestleMania will basically be like another SmackDown and Raw, which that's not WrestleMania. It's just, that's not WrestleMania. But Braun Strowman is going to be in this match. It will be announced, I'm assuming, tonight. They'll write off Roman. They'll put Braun in, whether it be a royal battle. Probably will be an over-the-top royal battle. I'm just imagining. That'd be the easiest way of doing it, is an over-the-top royal battle. Kind of like a Royal Rumble concept, just an over-the-top royal battle that, they used to do on SmackDown all the time. That'd be the easiest way of doing it, Look, we're going to do this, to determine who gets to take Roman's spot in this match. And, that's the end of it. And Braun wins and challenges Goldberg. In terms of who would win this match, I'd like to see Braun win. And you know what? If Braun does win the match, I'll be happy for him, because the guy deserves to be Universal Champion. It's just that, to me, I feel like he would be just holding the title until fans are allowed back into the venues again, because that's what I feel will happen. It's like Braun will win it, everyone will be allowed back in the venues, and you'll get Roman Reigns again, and Roman Reigns will win the title, and then they'll screw Braun, or they'll get someone else to win it from Braun, or whatever, because that's what they do. I mean, the guy just lost the freaking Intercontinental title to goddamn Sami Zayn. I mean, Sami Zayn's a good wrestler and all, but character-wise, he's terrible. Character-wise, guys. I like Sami Zayn as a wrestler, but in terms of a character, he's not good. He's a jobber. He's a jobber on television. He literally is a wind on television. And Braun Strowman just lost to him. There's no way Braun Strowman should have lost to Sami Zayn. And I know people are like, well, there's 3 people in there. Okay, he beat 2 people by himself a couple of years ago with a 10-year-old kid. So, no. I don't view him losing to Sami Zayn as, oh, well, he lost to 3 people, that's why I lost the Intercontinental title. No, he beat a former multiple-time world champion and, a great wrestler in Cesaro all at once, and his partner was Nicholas, okay, a 10-year-old kid, okay? There is no freaking reason why Braun Strowman should have lost to 3 people, okay, the way his character is built. Okay, I'm talking character-wise. I'm not talking about the wrestler-wise, because obviously Sami Zayn is a very talented wrestler, and he's someone that really is underutilized, in WWE. But character-wise, he's terrible. Character-wise, he's terrible right now. They book him as a wimp. And him beating Braun Strowman, to me, just doesn't make any logical sense. Okay? And now we're going to have Braun Strowman go up against Goldberg, after he just lost to Sami Zayn? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? They ruined Braun Strowman so badly in the last 2 years. A year ago, if he had been in this spot, he would have been so over. The fans would have been on top of him. Obviously, there's no fans for this year's WrestleMania, but you get the point. There was a lot of stock into Strowman, even as of last year, and then they ruined it with Seth Rollins winning the Rumble. Even before that, when Roman had to vacate the title, the Saudi Arabia event, because of the leukemia, and then you had Brock versus Strowman. They didn't have Strowman win. They had Brock win. That just ruined it right there. That just ruined him. And he's never really recovered. He then had to do a job to Tyson Fury, of all people. You know what I mean? And now we're supposed to believe that he can beat Goldberg? Goldberg, who just took down The Fiend? The guy who's been, scaring everybody, the past, 6 months or whatever? and won the title, forced Seth to turn heel. Now we're supposed to believe that that Braun, who's gone through all this shit, can freaking somehow beat Goldberg, who can beat The Fiend and can beat all these other guys, can beat Brock. Okay, yeah, he lost to Brock the last time, but he still has 2 wins against Brock. Brock only has 1 win against Goldberg. Okay, Goldberg still has more wins than Brock. Okay, and Braun couldn't beat Brock. Okay, not once. But we're supposed to believe that Braun Strowman, storyline-wise, can beat Goldberg? Okay, and my boy Goldberg like that? No, I'm not buying it. And when I do my prediction matchups, because the spoilers aren't going to be released for this taped show, by the way, because there's no fans in attendance. But I'm telling you right now, this is already my prediction. Goldberg is winning this match. I had a feeling Goldberg was going to beat Roman Reigns had Roman Reigns stayed in this match, by the way. I had said that in my last video. I believe with Roman's health concerns, I think Vince would have had Goldberg kept the title, and then he would have lost it at next month's pay-per-view or whatever they would have done, because they're doing tapes for the next couple of SmackDown and Raw shows. So you can have Goldberg win at WrestleMania, and then you can have him appear on the next night on Raw or SmackDown or whatever. He's still there, for the tapings. So there you go. There you go, and it will look like he has been there, all these weeks leading up to, when in reality he's been only there 1 night. You know what I mean? So you can have Goldberg keep the title, and since Goldberg's a part-time wrestler, it makes even more sense, because obviously all this chaos, not many people are really watching wrestling right now because of the crisis, okay? Or invested in it with no crowd and shit like that. People are more concerned about their health from the coronavirus. So more people, it's going to be whatever. This is probably the ideal time where Vince could actually get away with part-timers being world champions, because not many people are going to be invested in the product for the next couple of months while there's no fans. You know what I mean there? So, honestly, it would not surprise me that Goldberg goes over here, or even Brock. I could see Brock beating Drew. I really can. I know a lot of people are going to say, no way that Drew would lose to Brock, but look how Brock has been booked against Drew. Drew has been booked very strong in this feud. Okay? Drew is not going into the match as an underdog. He's going in as a guy that could potentially beat Brock, the way he's being booked. He's not being booked like Seth Rollins, who is being booked as an underdog against Brock. Okay? So I could see Brock even going over against Drew, the way this is the way this is going. And if you don't think WWE can't put him over, then you haven't been watching WWE for the past 6 years. Okay? And all people are saying, oh, his contract expires in April. Guess what? His contract ended in the end of April against Roman Reigns 2 years ago, when he fought Roman Reigns at WrestleMania a couple years back. And guess what? Last time I checked, Roman Reigns didn't win that WrestleMania. Brock did. Because they ended up re-signing him for more dates shortly after that match. So, yeah, guys, you really shouldn't buy into his contract expiring thing, because Vince can re-sign him at any time if he needs to. He's got the money. So, yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised if, at this point, if Goldberg or Brock walks out as their respective world champions. And, I don't know what's going to be the main event now. Like, I mean, do you actually... Because Goldberg versus Roman Reigns was actually supposed to be the last match. It was supposed to be on Sunday. It was supposed to be on the Sunday WrestleMania, not the Saturday WrestleMania. Drew and Brock was reportedly supposed to be on the Saturday
WrestleMania at the end of the night. But then I heard conflicting reports that it could be possibly actually Becky Lynch's match, but more people are inclined to believe that one. I don't. Yeah, I personally, it doesn't matter if a female one goes on last right now because really, I mean, who's really counting? It's got empty seats. You know what I mean? Like, does people really care that you're gonna have like a female one on an empty show? Does it matter who's on the last match at this point? But they could do that. I see Becky winning that match though. But I really shouldn't be giving away my predictions already because this isn't a prediction video. But this is really talking about Strowman. In terms of Braun, I'm happy that he's getting a title match. Obviously, Braun Strowman would be. Well, he really didn't have any card. It seems like for WrestleMania because it seems like they were going to go with Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental Championship match, which is where he probably should have been slated based on the way his storyline was going. But obviously, that's all been scrapped now. But he's getting a high-profile match out of nowhere because of this circumstance. And we'll see where it goes. Maybe Braun Strowman can, if he does win the title, maybe it can impress Vince enough that, he can be the guy. I don't know. But the way they've booked him the last year, I have very, very concerns. If Strowman wins, I'll be happy for him. If he doesn't, it won't surprise me the way WWE has booked him. And then Goldberg having the title longer, a little longer. I would like that idea because, I like Goldberg and, Goldberg only had the title for a couple of weeks last time. And it, seeing him hold it for a little longer would be kind of cool. So, at the end of the day, I won't have a problem with either guy winning. So I guess that's kind of a prize for me. Because at the end of the day, I won't be complaining on who walks out with the Universal title. I'm sure some people will be complaining because it's not The Fiend. Everyone's still salty about The Fiend losing the belt. He lost for no reason. No, it doesn't matter, guys. He's going to beat John Cena, okay? People really need to get off the whole Fiend thing. Like, Fiend losing was not a loss to his character. It did not ruin his character losing to Goldberg. If anything, it helps the Fiend. I know, a lot of people don't look at that angle, is it actually helps the Fiend. Because he was someone that was unstoppable. He got the belt probably sooner than he should have. Because of so many backlash after that stupid-ass booked Hell in the Cell match with him and Seth Rollins. The way they made that finish was terrible. My rant on that video. I made a rant video on that thing, but it didn't hurt the Fiend. And the Fiend's about to beat John Cena. It's not gonna hurt him. It ain't gonna hurt him, and no one could have predicted that this whole virus thing was going to happen. No one of us 3 weeks ago could have predicted that was gonna happen. Okay? No one could have predicted it, guys. So when people say, the Fiend laid down for nothing, it's like, no. There was significance to it. There was significance to it because there was an understanding on what they were going to do. Goldberg, there was no shame for him losing to Goldberg. Okay? There's no shame of the Fiend losing to Goldberg. And he's going to recover because he's going to beat John Cena. He's going to get his revenge for 6 years ago at WrestleMania 30. There's no shame for it. I'm just, like I said, the way everything is being executed, honestly, like I said, it goes back to the fact they should have postponed WrestleMania. WrestleMania should have been postponed. Obviously, it's not going to be postponed because they taped it already. But, with all these people that are getting injured or quarantine themselves. By the way, Daniel Bryan's another person who quarantined himself. And apparently Bobby Lashley did too. But you get the point. Corey Graves is not coming. Carmella's not coming. All these people are not going. And it's ruining the WrestleMania
card because Vince McMahon just does not want to postpone the matches, postpone the event, and actually have it where you can actually have fans in attendance. It just ruins everything. It ruins everything for everybody, and this is what we got now because of it. I'm gonna be, like I said, if Goldberg wins, I'll be happy. If Braun Strowman wins, I'll be happy. I'm not happy how this is all coming about because Braun Strowman deserves better than this, and obviously he's been booked terrible. But I'm not gonna complain if he wins, but I just have a feeling if he does win, it's just gonna be him holding the belt until fans are allowed back in attendance. And to me, that's not really a win, because a champion should get to experience the fan reaction to what's going on, and he's not going to be able to experience that. He's never going to be able to experience what the fans that overness of him being over. He won't get that. And that's the kind of thing that sucks about it. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this is a good move for Braun being the replacement? What do you guys think? Do you think Goldberg should keep it? If Braun is the guy that's going to go up against Goldberg, do you think Braun should win? Who do you think should win? Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate. If you like this video, my videos, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell for all the latest content. If you are a new subscriber, subscribe. I do have a Discord down in the description as well. And that's about it. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace! I'm not finished with you!